by Swami Vivekananda. By making samama on the objectivity, knowledge, and egoism of the organs, by gradation comes the conquest of the organs. In perception of external objects, the organs leave their place in the mind and go towards the object, that is, followed by knowledge and egoism. When the yogi makes samama on these by gradation, he conquers the organs. Take up anything that you see or feel, a book for instance, the mind first concentrate the mind on the thing itself, then on the knowledge, and it is in the form of a book, and then the ego that sees the book. By that practice, all the organs will be conquered. From that comes glorified mind, power of the organs independent only of the body, and conquest of nature. Just as by the conquest of the elements comes glorified body, so from the conquest of the mind will come glorified mind. By making samayam on the sattva to him who has discriminated between the intellect and make the Purusha comes omnipresence and omniscience. When we have conquered nature and realize the difference between the Purusha and nature, that the Purusha is indestructible, pure and perfect, when the yogi has realized this, then comes omnipotence and omniscience. By giving up even these comes the destruction of the very seed of evil. He attains Kaivalya. He attains aloneness, independence. Then that man is free. When he gives up even the ideas of omnipotence and omniscience, there will be entire rejection of enjoyment of the temptations from celestial bodies, of the temptations from celestial beings. When the yogi has seen all these wonderful powers and rejected them, he reaches the goal. What are all these powers? Simply manifestations. They are no better than dreams. Even omnipotence is a dream, it depends on the mind. So long as there is a mind, it can be understood, but the goal is beyond even the mind. The yogi should not feel allured or flattered by the overtures of celestial beings for fear of evil again. There are other dangers too. Gods and other beings come to tempt the yogi. They do not want anyone to be perfectly free. They are jealous just as we are, and worse than we sometimes. They are very much afraid of losing their places. Those yogis who do not reach perfection die and become gods. Leaving the direct road, they go into one of the side streets and get these powers. Then again, they have to be born, but he who is strong enough to withstand these temptations and go straight to the goal becomes free. By making samayama on a particle of time and its multiples comes discrimination. How are we to avoid all these things? These devas and heavens and powers by discrimination, by knowing good from evil. Therefore, samayama is given by which the power of discrimination can be strengthened. This is by making samayama on a particle of time. Those which cannot be differentiated by species, sign, and place, even they will be discriminated by the above samayama. The misery that we suffer comes from ignorance, from non-discrimination between the real and the unreal. We all take the bad for the good and the dream for the reality. Soul is the only reality, and we have forgotten it. Body is an unreal dream, and we think we are all bodies. This non-discrimination is the cause of misery, and is caused by ignorance. When discrimination comes, it brings strength, and then alone can we avoid all these various ideas of body, heavens, and gods and devas. This ignorance arises through differentiating by species, sign, or place. For instance, take a cow. The cow is differentiated from the dog, a species. Even with the cows alone, how do we make the distinction between one cow and another? By science. If two objects are exactly similar, they can be distinguished. If they are in different places, when objects are so mixed up that even this differentiation will not help us. The power of discrimination acquired with the above mentioned practice will give us the ability to distinguish them. The highest philosophy of the yogi is based upon this fact that the Purusha is pure and perfect and is the only simple that exists in this universe. The body and the mind are compounds, and yet we are ever identifying ourselves with them. That is a great mistake, that the distinction has been lost. When the power of discrimination has been attained, man sees that everything in this world, mental and physical, is a compound and as such cannot be the Purusha. The saving knowledge is that knowledge of discrimination which covers all objects, all means. saving because the knowledge takes the yogi across the ocean of earth and let the whole of Prakriti in all its states, subtle and gross, is within the grasp of this knowledge. There is no succession of perfection where the knowledge takes all things simultaneously at a glance. But the similitude of purity between the sattva and the purusha comes kaivalya, when the soul realizes that it depends on nothing in the universe from God's to the lowest atom, that it is called Kaivalya, isolation and perfection, it is attained. When this mixture of purity and impurity called mind has been made as pure as the Purusha itself, then the Sattva, the mind, reflects only the unqualified essence of purity, which is the Purusha.